Sanbonani, Dumelang Abusheni. Hello in sign language. I don't know how to say hello in sign language, but I'm going to learn. Hi, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Maddy on Everything. And this time it is episode 7. Let's rock. Woo! All right, cool, guys. So, guys, welcome to episode 7. It's your girl, Zamkolo Tendriwe Madungandaba. You know, also known as Maddy T, also known as Zama Madungs. Today on our lovely podcast, Maddy on Everything, I am bringing you, guys, you know, most of the time I'm by myself. So I'm so happy today. You guys can't even imagine. I'm so happy today because I'm finally not by myself. Okay, I've had another episode where I wasn't by myself, but I'd like to have that being more frequent. So shout out to my guest for today for pulling through, for making it. We were going to have 2 guests today, but the one guy flaked, you know. So shout out to my guest today for not being a flaker. Without further ado, this young woman, I met her at Africa Agritech in 2025, earlier this year, right? As you guys know, as I mentioned to you guys in this podcast, we'll be talking about all different topics, including business and entrepreneurship. So I attended Africa Agritech, you know, as being somebody who's interested in, you know, the agri culture and agro-processing space. And you know, I went there by myself, you know, and I actually got a ticket through I'm a Farmer podcast and the Gauteng Youth in Agriculture group, you know. So, and then we sat down at lunch and basically we just connected with this young lady. And let me just not go into too much further detail. We'll hash it out in the rest of this conversation. But I would like to welcome Miss Layla Nkoana to the Maddy on Everything podcast.
Thank you so much for having me.
Hey girl, how are you?
I'm good and thanks.
I'm good. So I have said a lot, but I would like you to introduce yourself to our audience and our listeners and let them know, you know, who you are, what you're about, you know, whatever you feel comfortable, and then we'll get into the meat and you know, the nitty-gritty or the meat of what brought us here today.
Okay, no problem. Thank you for having me today.
My absolute pleasure. Thank you for making it.
I am Layla Lehlogonolo Nkoana. I am a farmer based in Brits, Northwest. So yeah, that is basically my life. That is my career and that is what I do. I am a young Black female farmer in that region. Like you said, we met at the CSIR.
Correct.
Yeah. The conventional center. So yeah, that is actually my business.
That is your business.
Yeah.
So you are an entrepreneur and you are a farming entrepreneur.
I call it agripreneur.
Agripreneur. That's exactly what I'm talking about. Wow, amazing. So what inspired you to actually, you know, get into farming, and how did you actually begin this journey of getting into farming?
Okay, so it's funny. I got into farming through, or should I say through my mother.
Okay,
Yeah.
amazing.
My mother is a full-time farmer.
Love that.
So every time, she started this whole business when I was still in high school.
Yes.
So every time when I would come through holidays, I would go to the farm. So I wouldn't be that girl that would go to her cousins or family members, but I would actually go to the farm. And yeah, I saw her actually mentoring other agricultural students.
Yes.
From all over the country, you know, some students from Cape Town, University of Stellenbosch, some from Daung Agricultural College. So that's when I think I had interest from there. I was like, oh, you know, actually the role model that I want is right in front of my eyes. And that was my mother, Olga Nkoana. That's how it came about.
That. Shout out mommy. Shout out Miss Olga Nkoana.
Yeah, so every time when, you know, I would be there during holidays, it was that thing of, okay, I would connect with the students there, I would connect with the learners, male and of course, females.
I really love that for you, and, I relate with what you're saying because those who know me and those who, will also get to discover more about me on the podcast is that I started my law firm with my mom, right? So my mom is also a lawyer. She's also an attorney, but, so is my dad. So both my parents are attorneys, but I started my law firm with my mom, So I love a mother-daughter business, Mara, with that being said, the mother-daughter business, does it not sometimes get too much? Because I know sometimes like with my own mother, like sometimes, because you know how it is, like mother-daughter, like dynamics, I don't know, like,
I mean, you could say
terms of
that
like,
again.
Because she's your business partner, right? And then at the same time,
she's my mentor.
Yes, and then she's your mother as well.
And she's my mother as well.
So do you have
it's different
any
roles? And like I get you. There. What was your question?
Yeah. So my question is like to say, does it become not like overwhelming, but maybe like doing business with your mother, just as that kind of thing, like maybe as compared to doing business with somebody else, like maybe doing business with me or another friend or something like that. How do you think it makes a difference doing business with your mom?
I would say one thing though, my mom is like my friend, so whatever advices she tells me, I take it very seriously. And, regardless of the mother and daughter situations, I mean, parents do sometimes get on our nerves. But
yes.
I love you very much.
Yes, no. And I mean, it's not, no offense to mom, okay?
Yes, no offense to mom. But the nice part is that, even when I have my mistakes, she can be there as a mother. She can be there as a business partner. She can be there as a mentor.
Amazing.
So I find myself being in a privileged...
I love that position.
Position, a foundation. Or, building a legacy where I know that my mom is by my side. She sees me as her daughter. She sees me as her business partner. She also sees me as this young farmer that has the potential of going very far.
I love that. That's really cool, and I think it's just something that I picked up as we were talking, to say, I
think even when you met me at the convention center, I was with her, right?
I met you with your mom, and that's the interesting thing. And
we go together. You
go together. No, it really is like that as well with my mom too. We're literally almost like we're best friends, actually, not like we are best friends.
What I've learned in today's generation, we might not speak a lot about it, but sometimes all you need is your parent to be there. It can be your father, but it can be your mother, both ways, because I won't lie, I'm close to my father, I'm close to my mother. We have a really good bond. So
it really does go a long way, hey. And especially like what you were saying, I mean, sorry to interrupt you, but like what you're mentioning to say, now you're starting a business, or you're in a business, for example. Business is a very tricky thing already, like you can't trust people. But, if you're there with your mom, it's like there's that safety. But,
I know I can never be sidelined.
Exactly.
And I can never be stabbed on the back. But, instead, there's someone that I can trust. Sometimes also, I think if we put ourselves in situations where we don't think of ourselves as if like we know too well. Because remember, I'm the young farmer. I come with innovations.
Yes.
I come with the new... technology, with the new AI, I bring in today's generation what's needed.
Yes, I'm with you. But then she also has
her old school
things.
ways, and I won't lie, it works.
It works. They know they do the things
every time. It works out every time.
Yeah, man. Shout out to the moms and dads and the parents that are alive and that that can actually work with their children. And I guess we're just expressing that it's actually such a privilege, because a lot of children or people in our age group don't even have their parents still being alive, So for someone to be able to actually be in a business with their mother. And another thing I wanted to make a comment on was to say, businesses often started at home. That's what we always hear about a lot of, these successful entrepreneurs. And they would say, I would sit with my dad at the table, or he would take me to his meetings.
I would learn 1, 2, 3, 4.
And I would just be there listening to what's going on. So I think it's so brilliant if we can actually embed business and entrepreneurship from the home, guys.
From our roots.
Yes. So speaking on that, as you were saying that you're a young farmer, you've got your mom who's coming with the old school ways. What is a typical day like for you at the farm? Because obviously, like a lot of, we currently in Joburg right now. This is urban, we are in the urban city. So farmland is often out in the outskirts. So I think a lot of people might look at someone who looks as beautiful as you, slay queen vibes, to say, Mara, how is she doing? Like,
I always get that.
You get that, yes.
How did you get into the farming industry? And
exactly.
It's like, okay, I know that I'm from Agribiz.
We both from Agribiz, by the way. 2 Peli-born bred queens, yes.
Honestly. So, it's a hotokasi. People think you need to have that mindset, or you need to have that 9-to-5 mindset. But, sometimes you just have to literally sit down, think about your life, critically so, and say, okay, this is not what I want for myself.
Wow.
I need to get out of the hood.
Wow.
Not that there's anything wrong with
the hood, yes.
You sometimes need to get what do they always say? Fear of the unknown.
Yes.
I had to literally get rid of that and actually tap into something that was from back home, something that was from my roots, something that my mother was doing. Because, like you said, what is a typical day?
What is a typical day? I feel you, because like you're saying, coming from Kasi and everything,
So let me just break it down for you. A typical day on the farm, since I live on the farm 24/7, my typical day would be, okay, get up in the morning.
Around what time do you get up?
5 o'clock.
5 a.m.
5 a.m.
5 a.m. club.
Or even 4 a.m.
Hectic. Is there a particular reason you get up that early?
Just to prepare myself.
Okay.
Mentally, start off with a prayer, after a prayer, when my employees are clocking in.
Yes.
I'm already outside. I'm already
leading by
waiting for them
example.
at the office, yes. And as they sign their registers, from there we have like a bit of a chat on what was happening on the previous days, what challenges we faced, what is the solution, and from
amazing.
there, and then coffee. From there, I walk around the farm, take rounds, check what is actually happening. I inspect on my own. I don't expect my employees to go there and to tell me or to WhatsApp me and say, oh, Layla, this is what we found. There was a worm. Because remember, this is very tricky. Your employees could tell you that they don't see anything on the field.
I'm telling you.
But when you go and inspect for yourself, you'll see so many things that are wrong.
You're speaking of a very, very, very critical thing that I struggle with as well. To say, like we're still on the day on the farm, but to say, no one does it, like no one will do your job better than you. No one is going to run your business better than you.
You need to be present. You need to literally look at everything for yourself. Because let me tell you also, you cannot be running a farm, but you have a 9-to-5.
Someone told me you can't remote control a farm.
You can't.
When I was, asking around, I remember
you can't.
Say you can't remote control the farm.
There's no easy way of saying I am going to do farming, and therefore because I am doing farming, my workers are there for me, and they can take care of that specific, whatever challenges that may come across.
Yeah,
it's never like that.
I get you.
I need to be there.
Yourself.
I'm better off by myself, because if you can also remember, sorry for going out of conversation, but when we were at the Indaba,
yes,
the 2025,
the Mzansi farmers in Daba,
Mzansi farmers,
yes, where we also we attend these things, guys. The knowledge is there. Look for it.
There was a lady by Sophie. I forgot her surname, but that woman made such a huge impact.
Is it the one that spoke on the second day?
Panel discussion on the
She's a woman that, and then she even said, guys, if you're struggling, bring your potatoes to me. Yes, that's what that one. I remember. Powerful.
If you can remember her.
Powerful. Before the
do you remember
cannabis
what she
chat.
said?
Before that, yes.
But do you remember what she
Tell me which parts, which I remember a lot of what she said.
She said, there are times where you are looked in a different way just because you are a female farmer.
I remember her saying that.
This is where the part of bias comes in.
Exactly. They're not taking you seriously.
They do not take you seriously because you are a female farmer. So therefore, they take you like lightly.
100%.
You know, there are times where you'll tell your worker to go back, redo the work, and not that you're being strict, but because you want perfection. You want things to go according.
100%.
You understand?
I get you.
And now your employee sees you in a different way and says, but how can she tell me this? She's a lady.
Yeah, she's a lady. She's younger than me.
Why doesn't she get on the tractor? Why doesn't she go through the farm herself? Why doesn't she do 1, 2, 3, 4? But remember, I'm a female. It's not that I cannot drive the tractor. I can. But sometimes you just need the person that you are paying. Remember?
Exactly.
I'm saying I need these people.
Yes.
Because I cannot run everything on my own.
Yes. But you do, yes. What I mean is like you are better off checking these things by yourself, not relying.
Sure everything is on point.
You know, you need employees. I need employees. You know what I mean? I need resources. But at the same time, I'm sort of saying the challenge or the tough thing about HR, human resources, is that sometimes they just do their own thing.
Don't get it. Like,
sometimes people just do their own thing.
They don't get it. It's very important. This is where you need those people.
Yeah.
Yes.
I feel you. So anyway, go on. You were telling me. So you will now do your checks because you realize that I'm not going to wait for some WhatsApp or someone telling me, oh, there's a worm there. You need to go and see it.
Or telling me that there's nothing at all.
Or telling me that there's nothing. In fact, there is. So you have to oversee.
Farm. Yes, I have to check if everything is in place. I have to check is my machinery, my equipment in place, intact? Are they working? And I would have to also check my vegetables. So remember, I'm a crop production farmer.
Yes, because there's crop and there's livestock and there's fish and all other things, right?
So where I fall under crop production. So, crop is a very delicate production to be in. Yes. You need to make sure your crop is being watered perfectly. Your crop is getting enough irrigation, getting enough water, getting enough fertilizers, getting all the chemicals that need that they obviously need. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that would be me. Also, the fact that I'm also farming with vegetables. So also vegetables, it's a very critical crop. You need to be there. It's not something that you can say, they'll tell me what's happening. You need to see, are there worms? How is my vegetable growing? Is it in place? But I always say I can't have my typical day on the farm without coffee. I need coffee.
You love coffee?
I need coffee. I love
coffee lovers worldwide. I love coffee too.
I have to have coffee.
You have to have coffee to get you going. Caffeine is necessary.
Look,
I can't function without coffee either.
That is my medicine.
Red Bull even, like energy drinks, it's your medicine. I feel you. Yeah. So, as you're going on about that, you mentioned some things when you talk about your typical day on the farm where you say, I've got to check that my machines are right. I've got to check that, so I'm understanding you to say that, I need to make sure that everything is proper because things can go wrong. So which makes me then say to you, what are some of the biggest challenges or some of the biggest hurdles that you face in the running of your farming business or that you've come across in your journey as a young female farmer?
So like I said, you've
briefly mentioned some of them.
I'm
I
into
think
vegetables.
Yes.
So what happens in vegetables is that, a lot of things can go wrong. Whether the seasons are different. It could be summer, it could be winter, but it's always critical. For example, in summer, when you're planting your vegetables, you can actually face the hugest challenge, and it's like a negative, devastating challenge of heat
Imagine.
wave.
Wow.
So your plants can die.
Yes.
And in winter season, you can face your what do you guys call it? Your frost.
Yes.
Your frost.
Where now like there's little particles on the
And
leaves and things like
in
that.
summer, for example, like currently, I am facing like, I'm not gonna say this is an easy industry. It's not, but I had to literally get over the fact that I had planted 10,000 seedlings of cabbages, and I lost them due to the rain that we had.
I remember we briefly spoke about that. That's devastating. You told me a little bit about that. 10,000 cabbages that you planted and you lost them because of rain.
Root rot.
Root rot because of the heavy rains that we had been experiencing in March, right?
Yeah, because remember, I'm
2025.
based in Brits.
Yes.
So the soil, the type of soil texture that is there, it's like your deep clay. It's like your clay soil, basically. It's thick, it's rich. So whenever there's a lot of water, the water would be literally under the soil.
Oh, really?
It absorbs a lot of water.
Okay.
Yes. That's why you can find that sometimes, I can go maybe 3 days without watering
I see.
my vegetables. But I know the water is still under the ground.
So weather plays a huge role, obviously, in your
Especially
in your
when
production.
you're not expecting it.
Especially when you're not expecting it.
Especially when you're not expecting it.
Yeah.
Especially if you also don't have your greenhouse.
Yeah, I was gonna ask,
In
like, are there
place.
ways to mitigate, like, for
There's
example,
ways to
rain and
mitigate
things like
these
that?
challenges, you know what I mean? There would be your greenhouse. Also for heat, for summer,
Yep.
just that netting and your greenhouse being in place
Yeah.
can actually stop
The heat.
The heat.
I hear
A
you.
lot of sun exposure.
I hear you. I get you. Okay, so there is a way, but obviously, like you're saying, if you've got like a big piece of land where we've been to Layla's land, guys, so we're also going to show you guys, because we went for a little farm visit, so we've been to the farm, which I'm going to break away and show you at some points in this podcast. Maybe... So peep this, y'all. It's a farming community. I'm going to farm. It wouldn't be a farming community if you're not getting stopped by cows walking past, right? Yes. That's why I know that we're doing the right thing. We're going in the right direction. You are now leaving Gauteng. Ooh. Miss Layla, I left Gauteng for you, baby. There's the host with the most. Hi! Yes, so right now?
So right now it's at its maturing stage. Yeah, I can't really see though because of that rain that we had. But yeah, so
you feel like it's not...
tells you that it's ready to actually be harvested.
What exactly
So what's
tells
going
you?
to the color.
Oh, the
The
color.
dryness, the fact that they already popped out.
Okay,
You understand?
okay.
So I think we're looking at about maybe end of April. We'll be
Okay.
harvesting. That's if the rain doesn't come through.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, cool.
Because remember, when you harvest it, you want it to completely be dry. It can't be wet.
Okay.
Yeah.
So how long do sweet potatoes take to grow?
It take roughly around 4 months.
Around 4 months.
It's not like any vegetables. Yeah, vegetables are around there, like 4 months, meaning 120 days.
Okay. From planting.
No, as long as how do I say it? From seedlings. Yeah, so we would say 6 weeks.
Yeah, oh, from seedlings, yes. Okay.
And if you were to plant from seeds, it would take longer, obviously. So
Okay.
the shortcut of it is
It's
just
getting seedlings.
seedlings. Yeah.
Okay. Maybe now, so that you can see what we're actually talking about. But what I'm going to say is that when you have a big piece of land, it like as much as yours, I think you said about 45 hectares, it might not be practical to put like a greenhouse over that whole piece of land, right? Whereas if you have a smaller piece, that's when it becomes maybe more practical, you know? So with that being said, let's have a look at what is actually going down at Layla's farm in Brits, where we went on a Friday and we had a really good time. So yeah, guys, check it out. Check it out.
What do you guys call it?
Yes, like soy minces
Soy milk, soy minces.
Yes.
They make it out of this.
Okay.
Soybeans.
Love.
Take a look at that.
I love these. Wow. Can I eat it like this? Sorry, I just dropped one. Hey, yes. Okay, awesome. So these are the
sweet potatoes.
These are the sweet potatoes.
Sweet potatoes.
Mm-hmm.
Excuse this.
So this is you de-weeding. Is this weeding it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Remember that rain and all of that?
Yes.
So this is the cause of it. So this is unwanted, actually.
Okay. Throwing that to the bag. We'll do that. So
what you see at the back of me, that is actually potatoes, right?
Really?
Yes.
I would have never thought.
Yeah, you would think, oh man, it's just leaves and nothing. But yeah, it's actually our potatoes.
Uh-huh.
So these potatoes are about 7 weeks.
Okay.
Yeah, 7 weeks. So the problem that we are facing currently, I think if you can just point out, you're probably asking yourself, why is it not full, or why is it not a lot? Why are some spaces
patches
open, and why is it some patches? That's because those potatoes did not mature. Due also to the rain that we had.
So the rain is a big problem. Yeah, it's a big problem.
Because you must know, it can be good for certain plants.
Yes.
Especially for people that do drought farming. They want the rain, right? But in our sense, you must understand that rain can cause root rot. And when it causes root rot, you're not going to perform well. You're likely not to produce the tonnage that you want to produce.
Hectic.
Pass
up, guys, you are warned. So, guys, it's been amazing, the farm visit. Thank you, Miss Layla.
Pleasure, my darling.
So, guys, don't forget to check her out. She's going to give us all her details, obviously, in studio, or now if you want to. But don't forget to check her out. It's been amazing.
Layla Lehlogonolo Nkoana. And then Instagram handle, it is Layla Porsche 911. That's all. That's the only social media actually I have. That's crazy. But
so, guys, you got her on Insta. Emails, everything. We'll share everything. But thank you for the farm visit. Bye. So, guys, so as you can see, we had a good time at Layla's farm. She showed us around. So, Layla, could you please tell us a little bit more? As you saw, the audience will see that we visited you and you showed me around. What actual crops do you specialize in? Use this as an opportunity to reach out to your future, off-taker. Tell them what do you actually produce. Give us the list. Show us what's going down.
Okay, so when it comes to crops, your grains, I am more into your wheat, your barley, your soya bean. And when it comes to vegetables, your horticulture, I am more into potatoes, your sweet potatoes, and your cabbages. That is my department.
Amazing. Okay. And is there any particular reason why you chose to specialize in those necessarily?
It's because the region that I'm in.
Okay.
So we had to literally check what our neighbor farmers are planting.
Yes.
Because I remember my mom told me the story, or should I say I was also there.
Yeah.
When she started out on the farm. So what happened is that she wanted to go more into vegetables a lot.
Yeah.
And she was told, no, you can't. And this was one of our neighbors.
Really?
Yeah.
That sounds like big drama.
A white man came through and he said, No, Olga. Jikoni.
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 Yeah, I think he probably was an Americana. He was one of Trump's Americanas. I think he wants the farmers.
Aye, but it was not.
It wasn't.
This one was a burburu.
This was a real burbur. Okay.
Real Afrikaner, yeah. So, he said, no, Olga, you can't be planting vegetables. Let's go into grains. Helped my mom through. I remember, I think she started off with 10 hectares. More land had, you must understand. Just, you saw the farm, you were there.
Yes.
It's 44 hectares, right? So they started off small, bit by bit. Because remember, you need more production inputs, and production inputs are costly. So we had to say, okay, this is what you have in the bank.
Yeah.
There was nothing at the time where government was saying,
yes,
take.
Exactly.
Where things were just easily accessed. It was not like that.
Do you think it's easy access nowadays?
I mean, I won't even say that, man.
Yeah.
People are struggling. It's more about connections lately.
I get you.
And I'm sorry to say that, but it's more about connections lately. You could find, you could find that your business plan is in place, is doing so well, but someone could literally hijack you and just take your business plan and, you know what I mean?
I completely understand what you're saying.
Remember,
which is the tricky part about the whole thing about applying from government, like them stealing your ideas and things like that. It's very scary because you always get declined, but some way, somehow.
And you're wondering, why am I getting declined when everything is in place?
Everything is in order.
My business plan is in order. It
is about who
whatever they require is in place, but I am just not being selected.
It's quite sad.
You find people that have the passion for this, but they don't have access to land.
Exactly.
What we spoke at the Indaba about, that, as farmers, we need more land. We need a lot.
We need a lot.
This is not an easy.
It's not an
industry.
easy industry. Yeah. It's not an easy industry. And so, as you were saying,
this is very hard.
Yeah.
I always tell people, I'm like, you come with the mindset of, oh, I want to be rich by tomorrow, and you're not going to be rich by tomorrow. Could take you 10 years for you to be a millionaire.
I get you.
You see the millions coming into your bank account,
but they also
are going out.
That's what I also heard people saying,
because production inputs are expensive.
They're quite high. Yeah.
They're quite high.
So now on that, you were still saying, so the Afrikaner man came.
So we started off with 10 hectares, planted 10 hectares, and then as we started, having the market, starting understanding where to take our offtake to, that's when also, received money here and there, and we got to extend our land. We got to debush more trees.
Nice.
Yeah, we got to work, do a lot of land prep.
Yes.
You understand?
Yes.
So
he
now
helped your
we
mom.
have
He helped your mom, your neighbor. Yes.
Practically, I'll say that. Helped my mom.
We need to work together, guys. We need to work together. Let's go buy a donkey, Manier. We need to work together, guys. Government of National Unity in South Africa.
Yes. And from there, took my mom and said, no, man, let's go to rural development.
Yeah.
Tell them that I am your mentor.
Wow.
And things just started
amazing. I like that.
Opening up right there.
On the topic of mentorship, do you have any mentors that outside of your mom? Are there any people that whether you don't have to necessarily mention them by name, but are there people who are guiding you?
Shout out to them.
Who are guiding you?
There's young women, there's young females in this industry that I look up to, that are doing very well. And yes, they guide me.
Shine.
Every time when I have issues, especially knowing that recently, or should I say now? Yeah, but should I say recently?
Yeah.
I don't know what to call it. But, I've been farming vegetables for 3 years now.
For 3 years. So recently, in recent times, yes.
2022, 2022, 2023, 2024, now, somewhere there. 3 years. And, every time when I'm having hiccups or I'm having issues and I'm having problems, they are the people that I contact.
Amazing.
You know, they are the ladies
Wow.
that I would simply just call. You know, they see the up and downs. They see all of my emotions, you know, the happy side, the sad side of business, you know. But I know I can always count on them. Not once did they give me an advice that was negative, that would cost me at the end.
Yeah.
But, you know, it's always real. They are really real with me. And they help me get through. Even when there are times where you would find that, you know what, I'm really going through a tough time.
Yeah.
I've lost my crops. I don't know what's the next step. But they would be there
They
to
guide
me and say, you know what, don't give up.
Wow.
Keep going.
It's really important to have a community, right?
Very important.
To not
this is
like
where the community comes in.
to like not
where
feel alone.
you need to also put yourself out there.
Yes.
You need to socialize.
Yes.
Because if I was not a person that was going to socialize, I would not even be here.
Yes, exactly.
You know,
we wouldn't have
exactly.
exactly.
We had to vibe. We had to talk.
Yeah, we had to
And
connect.
We had to connect because we are in the same industry. Yes.
I'm with you. Now, on that as well, you know, as you mentioned that there'll be certain challenges, you go through these trials and tribulations. How do you manage, you know, your physical demands? Like you're saying, I'm physically having to be at the farm. I wake up at 5. I'm telling these guys what to do. I'm going on the farm. I'm checking that. How do you manage that life with your actual personal life? Like you're saying, you know, now let's say you've lost 10,000 cabbages, you know, that's what's going down at the farm. And ngapha, you are someone's daughter, you are someone's sister or cousin, or you are someone's girlfriend or wife to be or whatever. So how do you balance that, like that, with your personal life? Like,
Zama, it's hard, you know. All I'll say is that, you know, with the people that are close to me, I always tell them, I'm not scared to tell you if I'm having a rough day. You know, I can be there for you, but if I have to mention and say, you know what, today's not the day, and I can't, I'll simply say it. So sometimes I am there for the people that I am involved with, and sometimes I am not there. Sometimes I am off social media because I'm really going through a lot. Sometimes I cannot even go out with the girls because some of that money has to go into my business.
Wow, deep.
So
Girl,
you find
deep.
that, yeah, you know, I can go literally 3 months.
It gets deep.
I can go 3 months. You won't find me anywhere. You won't find me socializing with people. You would just find me sitting at the farm, just being patient with myself and just literally looking at my business, because my business is my baby. My business is my baby. No one is going to come tomorrow and say, Layla, I can help you. Or Layla, I'm here to pick you up.
It's all your responsibility.
I need to pick myself up. Even at times where I am not physically in that mode.
Yes, like you're not
And
well.
I'm not well. But I need to remind myself that I need to be okay.
Yeah.
Because remember also, when you're dealing with vegetables, they are very sensitive. You need to go to your plants happy. You need
Guys, it's a true story.
You need to go to your plants with that good energy.
Yeah. Oh my goodness.
I'm not about to go there when I'm having my issues.
I love that what you're
Or I'm
saying.
frustrated, or you know, I'm not.
People think like
you can't.
Like plants,
It's
they
like
get
even
the
when-
energy.
Even when I am planting them, like I literally get my workers. I'm like, hello, let's talk about tatalon.
Let's get this thing. Yeah, don't plant this.
We don't even want to be here.
Yo, and it's
Don't
true.
even want to be here. Because they can sense, even when you are holding them, they can sense.
Okay.
It's very important.
Guys, like this is some real tea. This is some real information.
There was a time, I was not okay. I was going through the most. I think I was even fighting with my man.
Exactly.
That day. And I left. I was not okay. And I was studying. By then.
Yes.
So it's that thing, you know, I'm leaving the farm, I'm going to school, and then I come back. You know, when I came back, I left that morning and I was in range. Like, I was so mad. Like,
yes.
But when I came back, I was like, my babies were literally lying down.
Are you serious?
The seedlings were not up. They were not standing, but they were lying down.
They wilted. No. No.
You know, I remember I even wanted to cry and I was like, what could have went wrong? But the following day, I was happy. And I was, like I was in a good space and I went to them. And I just remember that morning, I just had my cup of coffee with me on the field by them.
Yes.
And I literally took my camping chair and I sat there and I played myself some deep house because, I love deep house, if you know me. And I think after a few hours, they were up.
Amazing, guys.
Crazy.
I love this. I love what you're talking
Crazy.
about because these are the topics that I'm going to get into that everyone's still going to get into because that was the next episode that we're planning and it's coming. But just the spiritual elements, like that is unseen. It is so important. I know you're not necessarily talking about spirituality, but you're talking about energy. Because you're talking about if my mood is off, if my energy is off,
it's everything.
Affecting my plants.
It's affecting, listen, this thing, it doesn't only affect your plants, but whenever you must look at life.
Yes.
Actually. Whenever you're not in a good space, you're 100%. Ruining everything around you.
You attract that nonsense.
You're attracting that negativity towards you, and that is not good. It's going to literally block everything that's supposed to come your way.
And you're quite a positive person and you're always like, putting yourself out there and whatnot. I love that because I'm that guy too. Everyone on social media or, people of today, hey, don't be, I don't know what's going on with people. Don't post, don't share your life. Yeah, what I mean? I'm not talking about oversharing. I'm not talking about oversharing, but I mean like what you're saying about being a happy person, not being like, oh, I'm not going to post an exciting moment for me because, I've got monitoring spirits on social media. Do you get what I mean?
Like everyone's just on Instagram. She's always happy. And I remember there would be comments where people would tell her, why are you always happy? Why are you always dancing?
Yeah.
Remember, people are bringing in their negativity.
They want to affect you.
They want to ruin.
They want you. Misery loves company.
You understand?
Misery loves company.
And I remember there was a time, I think I was going through a lot and she did a short story where she was explaining. She's like, I don't need to be bitter because you are bitter. And I don't need to take that energy and bring it onto my life and now affect the people that are with me this side.
Yeah.
Just because someone said a bad thing to me in the comments.
I feel you.
And I felt that very hard because why now must I bring my bad energies or my problems towards my plants?
Yeah.
So
that's a good thing though.
That
And I think
also
it'll be a game changer
transition
for some
as
people.
well in real life. That no matter what I'm going through, it could be personal, it could be work related, or it could even be, whatever the case may be, but I cannot bring in that into my business life.
Into my space.
Into my space.
Yeah, I love that. Very, very, very deep and very critical.
If I'm not okay, I won't be around people.
It's just, I was,
I won't be around people and I won't be around my business. But if I'm okay, I have to show up.
I get you.
And at the end of the day, I need to show up.
Yeah.
Because they can, I always say, my plants are my babies. I am their mother.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Get you. Plant mama.
I'm a plant mama.
You're a plant mama, and it's a real thing.
Mama.
Yeah, it's a real thing. You need to take care of them.
I need to take care of them because at the end of the day, I'll be feeding the nation.
Yes, exactly.
I am here to feed the nation.
Thank you. Now we get to the positive matter of this whole thing. Guti. We are serving the economy, food security. We are serving the economy
to put food on people's tables, and it's my calling.
Amen.
It's what I love.
Amen. I love that
because I remember there was a time I was supplying.
Yes.
I think now we can tap into the supplying part.
Yes.
So I was supplying, I can't mention the stores, but I was supplying. And I remember there was a time I was not supplying anymore because I ran out of harvest. Everything was sold. There's nothing on my soil at that time. And I was passing the store. Bilani, I think nekira ka something.
Yeah. Yes.
So I'm like, hi guys. I'm like, they grabbed me. Balomponta, the part where my cabbage is. They're like, There's nothing here, Layla.
Oh, wow.
Like, we miss your cabbages. We need your cabbages. Your cabbages made a difference.
Amazing.
Your cabbages would literally sit there for 3 days and they would be stock out.
Yes. Gone.
Gone.
So there is a need. There's a market. There is a need, and you're making a difference, and you're making an impact. You know, and that's the thing. You know, guys, like you're saying, I like what you're saying.
Yo, because that touched me, and I was like, okay, it means I'm doing something good.
Yes.
Stop doubting yourself. You're doing something great.
Love that. So stop doubting yourself. Believe in yourself.
Stop doubting yourself. Believe in yourself. Actually, today I had coffee, and you won't believe, on that coffee they wrote, believe in yourself.
Oh, really? Guys, connect. The connections are connecting.
It said, be you.
Amazing. No, I mean, I love that completely. And I think it's just amazing to see how, you know, you might just take it so lightly what you're doing, but like it's serious.
You're just thinking, oh man, you know, this is family business.
Yeah.
I was supposed to be born into this, therefore I need to continue with it.
But it's not like that. You're actually starting to love it, and you actually love it.
I would tell you this today.
Yeah.
I can be Kokasine.
Yes.
But I want to see myself out of Kasi in 2 days.
Yes, because you're missing the farm. You're missing the farm.
I can't be there for long. I'll see my people. I'll try to make sure that I see my people in those 2 days.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm a people's people.
Booked and busy.
But immediately I will see, no, there's something wrong. I need to go back to the farm. Yeah, no, I need to go back to the farm. I need that space. It's part of my life now.
I'm with you. So I've got the last 2 questions for you.
Okay.
So that, you know, as our time is coming to a close, my last 2 questions for you. Number 1 is, where do you see yourself in 5 to 10 years in this space?
Owning a defender.
Owning a defender. I love that. So you'll be making bank. You'll be making serious.
I mean, defender is part of my plans.
She'll be owning a defender.
More land.
Shout out to that.
More land.
More land. Okay.
More land.
More life.
More production.
Yeah, more production. Okay.
More food security. You know. Just
I feel
that's
you.
it.
So you'll get it. You're on your way to
more land, bruh.
More land.
Lie
yeah, you mentioned anyway earlier, Guti, that, you know, your thing is that we need land. Obviously, we need a lot in farming. You know, we need land.
I mean, I'm privileged to have 44.
Yeah.
But there's still a lot to do.
Yeah.
In that 44. Remember, I'm not only operating the whole 44. I'm only operating 25.
Yes.
So I need more.
You still need to unlock the rest of it.
I need funding. Like, I need funding.
You need funders, guys, angel investors, crowdfunding, whomever, reach out to us. She has land. And that's another thing that people need to understand. Yes.
Collaboration.
Yes, collaboration.
You find that I need someone that comes in with capital. I got the land.
Exactly.
I need someone that comes in with mentorship. I need someone that comes in with advisories. Like, we need each other in this space.
So I want to take this moment to say, if you are watching this, and you are somebody who, for example, needs land, Layla has land, I have land, so the land is there, but there are other things that we need. And on top of that, the land is there, but we also need more land. So can government institutions also release the leasing of the state-owned land, or, you know, and can...
Even traditional
councils...
They have lands.
Do you know what I mean? And can people stop trying to block the expropriation bill as well? Because the expropriation bill, as like you're saying, Advocate Ngugai Toby spoke at the Mzansi Farmers in Daba. And how could this benefit farming? It can unlock pieces of land that are not being used at all for like the past 100 years, as an example. You know? So collaboration, guys, coming together.
Very important.
Very important. So guys, let's reach out. Please reach out to us. I'm going to put Layla's...
Let's not have that thing. Without the other person. But let's pick each other up.
But in farming, there's a lot of cooperatives, though. In farming, like in terms of how they structure their business.
Yes, we could be cooperating, but you know...
There's no real...
You have your 9 to 5 and you're comfortable there. You find you're forcing yourself into this space.
I hear you.
Your mind is not here. So this is where we want you to come in as an investor, because when you're not here,
Yeah. You just we'll run it for you.
We'll run it for you.
Yes,
We'll give you
but
back
we
your
need
profit,
1, 2,
but
3
we'll
things.
need 1, 2, 3, 4.
No, go. So trust me, I think something good will come from this. There's no way that we're going to drop this podcast and nothing is going to come from that. So
Yes.
trust me, something's going to happen. And my last question, my love, is what advice would you give to a young woman who wants to get into this space? I think that is my last finale. No, it could be a man as well, young man, young woman, but I say women because, we tend to be the underrepresented gender in society. But any young person, whether and nowadays, men, women, and everyone in between, guys, I don't discriminate. Ne? So, Lady LGBTIQ, you are recognized leadership.
Okay, so
yeah.
Before Rizana.
Yeah, let's start with young.
Let's
So she wants to
start
start with,
with
as a young farmer, what can you do to get into the space?
Okay, so my advice would be that, know where you are.
Know where you are.
Physically, emotionally, mentally. Know that this is what you want to do. Know this is the space that you want to get into. And consistency.
Consistency.
First and foremost. Focus. This needs a lot of focus. You need to give it your all.
Wow.
Yeah. Focus. You need to give it your all.
Give it your all.
You need to run it. You need to be there 24/7. And
I love how you're not missing you're like 24/7.
No,
literally, I don't have a choice.
Truth.
Yeah.
There was a time I was at Groove, bruh. And I just had a picture where my cabbages were not okay. And I was like, I'm at Groove and my cabbages are not doing okay.
I have to go.
That's what I'm saying. You need to go.
Yeah, and I was touched.
There.
I was touched earlier when you also mentioned that. That's the one I forgot earlier, where you were like, I could go 3 months without socializing, without going out, because I'm saving this money to invest it in my business.
Because unsistele.
How you feel?
But
no, babes,
it's not even that. It's the fact that I need to prioritize
the sacrifice.
I need to make a sacrifice. Yeah.
Sacrifice.
My
I've been there. I've been there. I can relate, guys. That's
business everything is morao. There are times
people
where
don't
I cannot
understand
even be there emotionally.
Why you have to decline
I cannot
invitations.
even be there in my own relationships. But I need to be there for business. You understand that?
I get what you're saying. That's what I'm saying. People need to understand how decline at the invitation. Not because I've got a problem with you,
There
but
was a
because
time-
hey, get la mo, get spend the 5K and 5K Shem, it must a budget. Yeah, kaya hore tshwantse ke planted potatoes or tshwantse ke ire 1, 2, 3.
I could even be thingy. I could even be saying tshwantse ke rekele someone a present, but I can't.
You see what I'm saying?
I can't.
Yeah.
All I can send is my well wishes.
Yeah.
And that's it. Ke tla wa bona.
So your advice to a young person is to be consistent,
Be there,
to be
consistent,
focused, to be there.
Come in with innovations. Come in with the now technology of farming. You understand?
Do you have any now technologies that you like or that you're starting to implement?
I'm looking into it. I don't want to lie and say yes.
I saw those like those poles. That was new to me because I always see those
the overhead.
Yeah, I always see
I
the
think
irrigation.
The viewers will see,
in the videos.
Yeah. But the overhead that they saw.
Yeah, that's not new.
That's not new.
Okay, it's new to me because I'm learning.
It's new
So
to you
yeah,
because you're learning.
Yeah.
And
but be innovative. Yeah.
You see everything that you see on the farm.
Yeah.
That we have.
Yeah.
Guys, it's costly.
Yeah.
Nothing is cheap.
Yeah.
Tractors are expensive. Irrigation systems are expensive.
Yeah.
You need to pay water. You need to pay electricity.
It's big business.
It's big business.
Yeah. No, Layla, thank you very much.
Magudumela.
I get you.
Or else.
And it needs strong people. Like if you're a young person and business generally. Imagine farming, because I'm a business owner, but I'm running a law firm amongst other things. My independent record label, whatever. But this farming business, I feel like it's right up there with the minings and it's very labor intensive, capital intensive.
When I was running my beauty business.
Yes.
And this, I'm like, yo,
What did I get myself into?
what did I get myself into? But there's no running away.
Especially if you love it and you
There's no
answered the
running
calling.
away. Yeah, there's no running away.
Miss Layla, that brings me to the end of our episode today. It's been amazing. Thank you so much for pulling up. And
Thank you.
I think you dropped a lot of wisdom. You dropped a lot of nuggets.
I really hope I inspired young farmers. I really hope you guys get to see this video. And yeah, you know, just inspiration on inspiration. And this motivates you to actually tap into what you've been, you know, fearing, if I should say.
I feel you. Collaboration, guys, coming
If you
together.
love nature, this is it for you.
This is it.
This is it.
Yeah. Thank you very
Because
much.
you're not only working in the office, but you're also working outside.
That's nice, right?
That's the best part.
Get
I have my
free
days.
spirits, yeah.
I have my days where like, I'm in admin, and I have my days where no, I need to be a board.
You just put on your boots.
Put on my shorts. I'm on
Yeah.
the field. I'm running. I'm getting dirty.
I love that.
Getting dirty.
I love that.
You should come to the farm when I'm dirty.
Okay, I'll come to the farm when you're dirty. Because you've been clean the whole time.
That's the thing. But
Yeah.
like slay queen,
Slay queen, yes.
But guys, I do get dirty.
They don't know the other side.
Yeah.
The working the hands dirty
yeah,
side. No, they'll get to see it. Thank you so much, Layla. It's been a pleasure having you.
Thank
From
you so
my
much.
side, guys, it's been amazing. I hope you enjoyed the episode. Do not forget to like, to share, and to subscribe. Shout out to AMPD Studios and MCN for the platform. And from my side, episode 7, Maddy on everything, signing out. One love. See you next time.